If you haven't already tried out Webull, they're giving away more free stocks when you sign up and fund your account with any amount or transfer over. And you'll get $5 worth of any of these coins when you make your first crypto trade worth at least $1. So sign up with my link in the description below. Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Foxtail Digital coming to you again with Black Girl Stocks. And this is another segment of our top 3 option plays this week. We're just gonna go over a few different trades, stock fundamentals, and different strategies that you can do to make it through. Today is gonna be a voiceover day. So if this is your first time watching this video, please make sure that you click that thumbs up button for me. It really helps the channel. Also subscribe, click that notification bell so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video for you guys. Also, make sure you scroll down below for a link in the description to our new trade stocks for life merch is now available. First, let's just do a recap of last week's trades. Okay, so the first stock that we were looking at was ALL, Allstate, and we were looking at it around 137.34. So this was going to be a put. We were looking at the 135 put options expiring on April the 14th. The premium was 1.40. So you'll see here during the beginning of the week, we were catching it around this area here. So it did kind of have a little move downward on Tuesday, moved up, and then slightly moved down towards the end of the day on Tuesday. But for the remainder of the week, this week, it has been giving uptrend. Looking at the charts for the actual option contract, so this is our actual contract, you'll see here that we did get a bit of profit here towards the end of the day on Tuesday, where we reached a high of 1.68. So that's a 20% increase from where we were starting, but you know, you'll see here that it continued to lose value. So like I always say, take these quick profits, especially in the volatile market that we're in right now. So next up was TWTR, that's Twitter, and we were overall bullish on this stock, just honestly based off the news on Elon Musk being the highest shareholder in the stock. He purchased 9.2% of the company. So we were expecting more moves from that, but you'll see that even here on the news that Elon Musk declined to join Twitter's board. So he's just going to be a silent investor. And after that news came out, the stock has kind of been moving downwards. Just be careful. Anything linked with Elon, you saw what happened with Dogecoin. You see what happened with Twitter. So the only stock that seems to be doing well linked to Elon is Tesla. But we were looking at April 14th put credit spread. So that's still going to be bullish. We will be beneficial if the stock closed above $45. So this is going to expire on the 14th. We do have a couple of days left, and you'll see here on Monday, Twitter is kind of rebounding. It looks like it's moving back up. So it's not a complete loss. Of course, seeing it move back up to 50 in the 51 range, that would be a good indication that it's kind of moving back in that upward trend. And lastly, we're looking at QQQ for another put credit spread. So we were bullish on this stock also, but so we were looking at it around here for a majority of the week. It's been bearish for QQQ. We had an entry of $370, didn't reach our entry target point, so hopefully nobody entered that trade because that was a no-go. So always use the entry signals. Now let's get into this week's trades. Okay, so the first stock that I want to look at is ABBV. This is ABBV, and right now it's trading at 169.83. Now you'll see here, just looking at the stock, it's been in a strong uptrend since it hit this low of 105 back in November of last year. So it's been on the rise ever since. Now where we are here, you'll see we briefly reached this high of 175. So last week we had a slight rebound. So today was a red day with the stock being in a continued strong uptrend. This is a new yearly high for the stock, and we're trading above both the 50 and 200-day moving averages, and you'll see that here. So that's a pretty good indication for that. It wouldn't be terrible to anticipate a continuation of that uptrend after, you know, a small pullback. So if I was going to enter a bullish position on ABBV, I'm going to have my entry around 172. So 172 was one of our resistance points that we've had today on Monday. An even stronger entry would be anything above 175. So it has a few dollars to move up to show a good continuation of that uptrend. But if you needed something a little bit closer, 172 would be a good entry, and the target for me is going to be above 175. So looking at the actual options, the open interest and volume is amazing. amazing. 10,000 open interest, 5,000 open interest, 1,000 volume. Our implied volatility is fairly low, and you'll see in this time frame the stock is projected to move. The stock is moving. It's going to move up or down $14. This is our market maker move here. If not, okay, for ABBV, I would be looking at the May 6th calls, so we have a little bit of time for that to move in our favor, and I'm going to be looking at the 175 strike price. So you'll see here our bid and our ask is a little bit wide for this one, but that's okay. Probably around 2.62 for this, so you have a mid-range of 2.59 and up to get into this position. I really don't look at the bid with the wider spreads. The closer you get to the bid, the less likely you are of having that position filled. So if you've ever done a limit order and you put your limit in, it's closer to the bid. A lot of people say, why hasn't my order been filled? It's because it was a little bit close to the bid. Nobody picked it up. So go a little bit closer to the mid and the ask, and your position will be filled. Just a disclaimer, the next two stocks are in the same sector. The first stock that we're going to be looking at is SAV. This is Spirit Airlines, and right now it's trading at $25.47. You'll see over the past few days that there's been a lot of news of Spirit Airlines with a proposal from JetBlue for a merger. I'm actually going to be bearish on this, and the only reason, so you see we had this strong candlestick move up back on the 5th. So this was the day that this was actually announced into the 30s. So that's a huge jump for Spirit, but right now it's kind of tapering off, and you'll kind of see here we have two EMA lines here. We have a 5 and 10-day moving average. 5-day has crossed below our 10-day moving average, so whenever the short crosses below the long, this might be a short-term play. And even just kind of moving down here to our MACD indicator, a bearish crossover, as well as our RSI indicator, it's been in a downtrend. So we'll kind of see what happens with Spirit going into the remainder of the week. If I was going to get into a bearish position, I'm going to have my entry around, and seeing this stock reach that 24.50, this was somewhat of a support that we had back on last Wednesday that it's been in. After reaching a peak, you'll have your little dip. The implied volatility is pretty neutral, almost 3,000 open interest, 3,000 people are holding this. And so I'm going to be looking at the $25 puts expiring May the 20th. So you'll see here, it's probably about 1.45 for the premium. Our delta is beautiful, 0.41 delta. That's not that bad. Now, of course, if you were a little less risky and you wanted to buy in the money, you could get the 27.5 or the 30. Of course, those are going to have higher deltas, but for me, I'll probably just stick with the 25. And so yeah, that bid and that ask spread is a little bit wide as well. So you'll be looking to pay more towards the ask, anywhere between the mid and the ask. So 1.25 to 1.50. And the last stock is UAL. This is United Airlines, and right now it's trading at $42.42. We've been in a short-term uptrend since we reached this low of $30.54. So it's been a little uptrend. We had a slight pullback. It would be interesting to see if we found a bottom around this area. So around this 40, 41, 42 range, right where our 200-day moving average is, could this find support here and continue moving in that uptrend? Looking at our RSI indicator, it's fairly low, around 30, 39. MACD indicator looks like it's ready to have a bullish crossover, and our DMI plus has kind of just crossed over our DMI minus here. If I was going to enter a bullish position, I'm going to have my entry around $43 to $44. 43 is going to be a little bit closer. That was a high and a resistance that we reached today, and 44 was a resistance from previous about 2 sessions ago. So seeing that stock rise above 43 to me would be a good indication that we are continuing in this uptrend. After that rebound, we're going to May 20 options, and for me, wow, 11,000 open interest on the 43. That's amazing. Delta 0.5, theta is low as it can possibly, almost as low as it can go. I would probably choose the $43 call. It's slightly out of the money, but that's okay, not too much. And you'll see here, this has a really close bid in the ask spread, 2.287 to 2.97, not bad. And of course, anytime you're doing long positions, the most amount of money, the most amount of the investment that you can possibly lose is the premium that you pay. So you don't have to worry about losing more than you invested. But make sure you check out this video that I posted about reading candlestick charts. Look at those doji candlesticks. Look at the volume, the sub volume below the candlesticks. So all of these things are very important with your trades. And just a few more tips and tricks to help you become the best option trader that you can be. Okay.